are 85 back, JB 67 back, Ryan 42 back, Ken 8 back, Scott leading. Good luck. Welcome to Homestead,
Drivers,
the
to your
Camel
cars.
Championship 400. We are in a heap battle between the top 5. Scott, Ken 8 back, Ryan Hoyser 42, John Batista 67, and Tim McDonald going for his third straight championship. 85 back. Here is the starting lineup, sponsored by Camel Filter Pack. Get your cigarettes today. On the pole, Ampio, and 18th different pole winner this year, Jimmy Stevens, looking to get 11th place in the standings. Second, very good at this racetrack, Piper Cherokee 6, Bill Werkheiser. Third, the Wendy's Old Fashioned Championship contender, John Batista, 67 points back, 8 victories. Fourth, the last race at Shake and Bake Racing, going for 11th place in the points, Amp Energy Foley. Matt Raboyne, Viper, 87. Last race for Top Gear Motorsports, Ben Gear, Budweiser, King of Beers. Tony Pizarro, Boston Red Sox, Ford Fusion, red, white. Not in the championship mix, but a good season. Scott Deutsch qualifies 8th, best of his career, looking for victory number 1. Starting 9th is the points leader, Scott Jackson, 8 up, miracle season. Can he hold ground at this facility to win his 3rd championship crown? 10th, David Butterworth, Allstate Good Hands. Craig Lee, Aaron Cummings. Ryan Hoyser starts 13th today in the 138 NOS Energy Drink car, 42 back from the leader, who starts ahead, and 34 back from the guy next to him, Mr. Ken Pettit, Mr. Consistency. Bob Marley Impala, 8 back from Scott Jackson. Dave Miller, Randy Dobbins, Rick Jackson looking for 11th in points and 3rd win in the last 4 races. He won here 2 years ago. Adam Crapser, new sponsor next year. Donald Stewart, where will he be in 2022? A win here may determine. Rob Scarberry, Zach Miller, teammate Mark Murphy, Tex Perry, Alex Crapser looking to gain ground, on the points comes in tied for 6th. Tim McDonnell, long shot for the championship, starting way back, but a good track record at this facility. Michael Henson, John Tharp, Zach Michael, 10th and 9th in points. Tony Long.
Drivers, start your engines!
David Baldinger. Dan Johnston. Jim Fitzmaurice. Both Ontario Motorsports drivers make the field today. Dan Johnston. Alan Nesvetter. Dakota Wilkins. Steven Spears. Dalton Lucas. Christian Torres. John Skrillex. Kevin Robot. Matthew Dominique. Connor Germain. And Scott Drake.
Well, this time got just about perfect now, wasn't it?
That was beautiful. Great timing. Now, Tim, how are you going to go through this field?
I considered heat-seeking missiles.
I think that's a great idea. All right. Scott, Ken, Ryan, Batista, and McDonald. 267 laps of championship greatness. Homestead, Miami Speedway. Green flag. Good luck to all.
On the bottom controlled about station, but once you get the tires wore out, you need to be on the high side.
I agree with that sentiment. Scott Jackson, not high or low, but in the middle, trying to make some moves to the front and gain that valuable bonus point. Top two in the standings, neck and neck. Battle for the lead up front, Jimmy Stevens, Bill Werkheiser.
I think Bill's going to win this battle. He's been slowly getting further and further alongside and ahead using that outside lane. I don't think the bottom's going to do it here for Jim.
Bill has a great history up front here and leading laps early. One of the few tracks he is consistently good at.
We'll have to see if he can convert it today and maybe get a good finish, maybe a win.
All the contenders are staying steady. Don't want to make a mistake this early.
Well, I don't know if you're going to make a mistake as long as it's not catastrophic. Now's the time to do it. You don't want to make a small mistake with 10 to go. It'll be over to do that.
Small mistakes, lug nuts in the pits. Lots of action speaking of action, mid-pack, lots of action and lots of contenders. Top two in points, side by side once more. Looks like the 81 and the 16 are holding up the field.
Unfortunately, as the run goes along there, it seems to get more and more difficult to pass.
Right now, everyone's 4 wide. Zach Miller way. Right now, they're all pretty much 2-3 wide, but they can't break away from the 2.
I think Dave Miller might have flipped the wall there before that last lap.
Miller fighting hard for 11th points. We notice Bill, he's up front several races a year, but he can't finish up front. It's been a consistent story for most of his career. At his old age, can he change his ways?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a physical endurance issue or just they have a car that fires off good and then they can't keep up with the track.
Seems consistent with his teammate Randy Dobbins, although Randy has won a few races. Scott Jackson, on the other hand, dominating.
Man, that 16 must be holding up. Looks like Rick might be able to get this one done on the bottom.
Rick has a catch-22. Does he want his cousin to win the championship or his teammate? Ryan and JB up side by side. Both have a lot of gain to ground. Ground to gain.
That makes more sense.
Oh, look at this one. And he's gaining it. Both are currently ahead of the 2 points leaders.
I don't know that move was a net gain for him, though.
As long as he gets by the 39. When you're that low, it's hard to get the momentum off the corner.
finally got that 16 out of the high group.
Making moves on the inside lane. As the points stand, Ken Pettit is the lead. 250 laps to go.
I was gonna say, it's awful early on to be worried about the points fiction.
Something Tim might want to worry about. Ben Gear. Looks like he has the faster car today.
Now, to be fair, he's also done this all season where he looks good at the beginning of a race and then finishes 36th.
So what you're saying is he will not be in the third Top Gear ride next year.
Tony, are you having a stroke?
Yes.
Something some of these guys really probably do want to worry about is possible strategy to get some bonus points for leaving the lap done early.
Bill's pace is so strong. Oh! JB almost clips the wall off before. His pace is really strong right now. See if his tires wear out. Maybe Foley can make a move.
I'd be more worried about that 39 part. We'll do it quick. There goes JB making a move on Foley.
Looks like the Wendy's machine is the fastest on the track. Comes in 62 behind. This will give him 5 extra. He can lead a lap. First of the contenders to get those bonus points. Nostradamus. interesting. The two guys that are farther back are at least 10 spots ahead. It's about a four-way tie for the points. Also, Ryan and JB both have a bonus point.
We don't happen to have our notes from last year to tell us what the fuel range is.
67 laps.
But I do remember the undercut is powerful here.
Yes, if you pit early, you can gain a ton of time.
You just gotta make sure that you're not pitting so early as to require another pit stop.
They started the race at a 38. They are at a 42.5, so almost 2 full seconds in 45 laps. Both the 39 and the 138 want to lead the most laps today. Right now, Ryan would be
Yeah, the way things are going right now, it does not look good for myself, Scott, or Ken. We are not where we need to be.
Ken is still hanging on, but I think he's fighting for it. You and Scott.
Yeah, Ken's like 19th, isn't he? Yeah, he's 4 cars ahead of Scott.
Ken is 18th. Scott is 23rd. You are 24th.
Why do I only see 4 cars between? Maybe they were 3 wide plus than mine. I don't think John Thorpe has any chance, though. I'm surprised how far back these 2 cars are. There's a bunch of cars back here that I don't know why they're back here.
Just down on speed early.
I mean, if memory serves, the last 2 years, haven't I been in the mid-20s until halfway through the race and all of a sudden the car turns on?
Yes, I think that happened in both races.
I believe so. So I wouldn't count anybody out except maybe the 16 and the 9. How far back is the 9?
Look at the 87.
Oh, I didn't even realize that Kevin and all them were off the back too. I hadn't seen them.
This might be an interesting strategy.
I mean, he'll be quick. Where was he before he pitted?
I don't know. Well, right now he's just over a lap and a half down.
Yeah, I don't know. That may not have been a strategy pit stop.
Probably not. But he didn't lose time on it.
As long as there's not a lasting issue here. But he's running a weird line.
I'm wondering why he's so far on the bottom.
That's what I meant by a weird line. Like, you're not going to make much time. I mean, strategy-wise, it would make sense to come out with all this clean track in front of you and not get held up by cars, but I don't know if that's what we're going for here.
I think he's okay. He's just feeling out the car.
Might have had a weird vibration pop up or something.
Yeah, he's up to speed. Well,
What he definitely needs is about 20 laps more green.
he'll definitely be the leader if we go green.
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, see, I don't know where he was in the field and how he came into the pits. And that slow outlap might be a problem. It's possible, but if he's a leader at the end of the cycle, he's going to get immediately eaten alive by guys with 20 laps more tires.
That's true. it could work out in his favor if the circumstances fall into place, but it's very unlikely.
I think what he needs is to cycle through and go yellow, and then everybody pit again, but I don't think they're going to do that.
We've seen weirder things in this series. Whizzer and Pizarro going for the lead. I'm trying to remember what track I won at. I think it was New Hampshire, and I'm trying to remember what track you won at. I think it was Daytona.
Well, if I can get the Statomatron 5000 to fire up, I can find out.
I have a vacation coming up, and I'll probably put everything back on Race Points Manager. Just to have the archive.
I won 3 races this year.
No, you didn't.
Oh, no, that's wrong. I won Daytona, and you won New Hampshire.
Okay.
I have 3 poles and a bunch of most laps left.
I would have never guessed. Like, if I were to guess, that's the last track I would
For who?
pick for you.
I was always really good at Daytona.
Yeah, but if you win one race in a season, you're not going to say Tim won at Daytona.
No, it's usually going to be the road course, but I think I was 2nd or 3rd in every road course. I think No, I led the most laps at Lime Rock. I led the most laps at most of the plate races, it looks like.
Very good at plate racing.
Let's see, where did I have poles? I had poles at Talladega, Charlotte, and Lime Rock and Martinsville. That's a lot of pole at.
Types of tracks. I'm surprised JB hasn't gotten a pole. It's gonna be weird not seeing him in the Big Bud shootout.
Well, if you want to be in the shootout, you got to perform on Saturday. You can do it.
That's true. Many top 5 starts. No top 1 starts. As the tires wear out, it seems the cream of the crop is up front. Ryan's piling the laps.
I'm sure the inevitable engine failures are coming here in about 100 laps. I'm really hoping now the championship contenders have one of those, because that'll be sad. I seem to recall winning a championship years ago because Craig blew a motor in the last race.
I think I lost the Enduro Series championship after I fell out on the last lap of some race. I forget if it was to you or some other guy.
I remember thinking I'd lost the Enduro Series championship after I think it was Bank Indy race where I was 1 point off of John Tharp, only for us to realize post-race the only reason he beat me at the end of the race is because he didn't follow the pit rules and merged before turn 1.
And Rick agreed with you.
I didn't even point it out. Somebody else noticed it. And I went, oh. Well, Rick, you make a decision on that. I'm not in motion, so... It was one of those things, like, I'd been ahead of Tharp, running with him, like, the whole race, and then he came out of the pits after the pit stop, like, 15 seconds ahead of me. I'm like, what in the hell just happened?
Everything.
Speaking of pit stops, we gotta be good close, right?
Should be in a few laps.
Yeah, we have to really spread out. And whatever advantage Matt had on tires will go on with this traffic. Oh wow, I put some cars with me and Scott, huh? He might unlap this, I think you're right though. It's like he's gonna be the leader, but he's gonna get penalized.
Yeah. If it stays green to the end, which I doubt, definitely be at a disadvantage.
I don't know. Didn't we last season only have one yellow the whole race here?
Yeah, but it was gonna be a fuel mileage race until that yellow came out, and then I think it was like a 2-lap shootout.
Yeah, it was something silly like that. Yeah, he still has a bit more tire than these cars, don't they?
He can just stay on the bottom and fly by.
Man, look at Dalton up there.
He's inside the top 30. Oh,
Can't
he's
say that
leading. Matt, even with traffic, has gained just over a half a lap, maybe about a half a lap in 18 laps.
With the exception of two cars, is every car with a 9 in its number outside already fifth place? It's the 39 and the 90 are up there, but I think all the other 9 numbered cars are in the back. Oh, I forgot about Randy.
Whoop, here we go.
Well, this is where the field gets mixed up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's on the way out there.
I didn't know anyone pitted yet.
Well, given the fact that I crossed the line in 40th, that tells me I was stopped already. Oh, look, Ryan's in.
These guys don't have good mileage. JB's in, Scott's in, everyone's in.
I mean, you basically have to, otherwise you're going to give up, 2 seconds left. So where's that going to cycle through at?
Tough to tell. I'm concerned about Ken, because he's coming. Tim's leading now. Ken's not even out of the pits yet.
And Scott looked long, but it also seemed like Scott was very slow coming out. I was passing him as he was on the access road. We should have merged out together.
I think that one lap really makes a difference.
I mean, it's 2 seconds. It's 2 seconds. If you're right with the guy, you'll be 2 seconds ahead of him.
Dan's gonna try to go all the way.
I mean, doing this, he should be able to do it on one less stop, maybe, but the other guys can probably stretch it 1 lap here or there and do it with the same number of stops.
The next lap is 133.
And you were right, 87 is now leading. We'll see how long that lasts.
Hitting early, you gain 15 spots.
Jesus. problem is, I still need to be a good number of spots ahead of Ryan and JB for that to matter. But I think right now, I think Scott and Ken would both lose 3 spots in the standings and end up 4th and 5th.
Scott is 18th. Ken is 28th.
Yeah, Ken would be 5th in points if the race ended right now.
I think you're right.
I mean, obviously Ryan's before this car up, so I think he'd take it, and then JB and then myself if we finish right now. Wow, Kevin lost a lap. Now, how quickly are they eating the leader alive?
They're not gaining on him as much as I thought. It's like 0.3 seconds per lap. Oh, about a second per lap.
That sounds about right. Yeah, if memory serves, last year's race it rained green until that yellow right at the end, and that got a bunch of cars a lap down.
I don't remember that. I think cars were a lap down because the race was so long under green.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a bunch of people were a lap down from the race, just existing so long. I don't know what's going on with Zach's car today. It does not look good.
He's got all 8 cylinders.
Are they all producing power?
Could be. Maybe they were trying a test setup for next season.
Yeah, because now I think about it, as soon as, if Scott leads a lap, doesn't that, basically mathematically eliminate Zach?
That's a good point. I guess they're still kind of in it. Zach is out. He's 1 second.
You're right. For him to pass Scott has to score 0 points. I'll be honest, this 87 really doesn't help Ryan at all here. He'd be much better off leading all of these laps.
I think Ryan will get his share regardless, but you're right.
Although I think the 87 is also probably going to pit here in about 15 laps.
Well, he'll pass him way before that.
Yeah, but he won't get filtered all the way through the field. So.
Ryan's pulling away from the first pack. The 12 and the 39 need to work together here.
But they're not that's caught by the next pack.
Get my pizza. I'll be back. fast car this round. 14th. I think Ryan might still be ahead of him. Ken, on the other hand, is still mired in 25th.
What's Kevin doing?
Trying to get his lap back. The fact that he has enough power to pull that off.
Yeah, I think he just fucking succeeded. What the fuck? Get this man a top tier ride.
I think that's the move that might do it for 2022. Currently out of a
Goes right into the fence.
If Kevin can do it, he can do it. Starting to see the field rubber band.
Careful, don't stretch it too far.
Happened with the bot channel.
It wasn't working at all.
What, were they still coming in here and then coming down?
It wasn't preventing people from coming down from in there, and it wasn't defaulting people up there anyway.
Hello, Zach Michael.
Hello. Are you racing? Did you race?
Yes. We're on lap 107 of the Extravaganza Championship.
Oh, that's right.
And it's not going well for the 20 team.
That's fine. We're going to try our hand at field hockey next season.
You have an experimental setup in. Scott's back into the top 15, and you are dropping back.
Tim, do you have any videos to watch?
Besides the Extravaganza, yes. I've got at least 2 idiots in cars and every crash in the British Touring Car Championship.
No, with idiots in cars.
Not to be confused with that bit from Jackass, Little Cars and an Idiot.
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
Wow. They ever even signal?
Nope.
What are we listening to? Oh my god.
Anxiety music. I feel like nobody was on the stop line or held their lane.
Jesus.
Oh, this is gonna end well. How many morons get ejected from this car? Surprisingly, none.
Wow. Well, those other 2 people were doing park there. They were way too excited about that.
Yeah, they probably also should have not moved, because that's just how you're gonna get creamed by a cop.
They weren't moving. Oh dear. Okay.
Some more pit stops here in about 10 laps. Wow, that pole really came out of nowhere, huh?
Totally. Just like that Cadillac.
Damn ambulance chasers.
Takes him right off the cliff. It's a cop.
Oh, nothing good's about to happen in these conditions, right? Jesus. What are you looking at?
Shopping cart.
Ah. You put a shot in the sheets. You're gonna be hitting left and right. Once it wasn't a Mustang, but it was still a Ford. Oh, God. What are you doing?
It's been 1 week since we got this scene. Ow. Ow.
Oh, Edward. Alright, we're in a wide open parking lot looking at it. Oh, would you look at that? there it was.
Congrats to Kyle Busch on his
You guys heard the terrible
pregnancy. What?
She tells us clothes on.
Fuck him.
It's probably the best track in Canada. And that Nissan driver should be shot in the head. Oh, this Dodge stuff is so fucking stupid, right?
Wow.
Alright. And the porpoise, yes, the porpoise of that was what exactly Jesus?
That's not how that works.
I don't know how this works either. I think that person at least had a clue. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. You're going the wrong way! That was a good choice. You're gonna hit one of those two cars, hit the one doing the stupid. And we're gonna get hit. There it is.
Ah.
Oh yeah, definitely a time to pull out there and go straight in the lane. Cross traffic! Fuck you! These are prime deliveries!
Now they do their 2-day shipping, man. They gotta go.
This seems really smart, whatever we're doing here.
Go.
I really thought we were about to just spin it out doing that. Those are done. You've exploded a tire!
Sort of. Unseated your tire. I have no idea what that was about.
Yeah. Seemed like the guy was Wow, the pole didn't collapse. Okay, let's see what else do I got. Like I said, I got BTCC crashes and I had another idiots in cars somewhere. I'm struggling to find it. There we go.
Ready. Ready.
3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, that's just comments. We know the truck's going to make a wide turn.
Yeah, the truck also had a yield though, so if you're going to have to make a wide turn, you have to yield. You know, there's a certain point where you're better off just going, oh shit, and running the light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ended well. Whoa, baby! Oh. Oh! It just gets better. we saw this clip.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that a large part of that falls in life of GM. If those are really right next to each other and indistinguishable from a plant. So. What do you think the odds are we're about to put the truck in the lake?
Not as good as putting that dude in the lake.
Or quite possibly the intercoastal, I'm not sure.
Yeah, four-wheel drive would have,
What a help!
Are we carrying something?
Did we drive off of the worksite with something like the nozzle for the concrete attached where they shouldn't have?
Nah, we should have a little landscaping. Go, or don't. Yeah.
That was the right move. Box them out so they can't do the stupid thing.
I mean, at a certain point, it just ain't gonna happen. Oh dear, we're going way too fast.
Fucking kill it. Oh my god! Holy fucking shit, dude! That was an IndyCar crash!
Who was that dude that hit the bridge at Fuji?
A corpse?
You know about that, right?
Yeah, that was what, Super Formula or Formula Nippon or something?
Yeah, they pretty much couldn't find a body.
They found a goo. Oh!
Made Tom Price look like a Tuesday afternoon.
As Zach dives for the pit lane out of nowhere.
They made that Queen song after Tom Price.
Pile of goo? What are you doing, bud?
Getting run over on a Tuesday afternoon.
Oh!
Jeez.
What? Like, sometimes it's like, oh, you just didn't realize there was no gap there.
That's happened not like that intense, but similar situations. The guy in front of you moves over and there's just a stop line of cars.
I would need to see the signage to know if this guy's trying to go in the out or just trying to go out the middle of the dual use. It's not going well, bud. Yeah, see, that's just thinking there was a gap that wasn't there. Couldn't see. Oh my god, I just went for something.
Stopping on the highway. Moving just stable. Oh jeez. Why the middle lane isn't the right turn lane, it's the left turn lane.
Oh god! Oh my god, they are gone. Oh! Eat a dick, jackass! Oh!
Oh!
And cross traffic in 3, 2, 1, go!
They're just like totally unaware. Oh geez, oh geez, oh geez. I don't like that sound.
Oh, don't worry, it's the sound of a redneck losing money.
Law Boss with the Dallas Cowboys logo.
Official bail bond partner for Dallas Cowboys. Do you have a car to our right being a dipshit?
No.
No. Yeah. I think you're gonna need some assistance to get out of that one.
You know, all-wheel drive.
You might as well just pull forward at this point. Yeah, there you go. If you want to get out of it on your own, just go forward. Oh god! Oh, got it. This guy's entered a roundabout going the wrong way. Alright.
Hey, at least he entered it the wrong way and stopped instead of just full throttling through it like people in Milwaukee.
Fucking Milwaukee.
Fucking people in Wisconsin.
Tim, racism will no be tolerated. You know, I want to fix that.
No tolerate racism, bad, good.
Where did you see that?
It says as I come in the server, racism will no be tolerated. TS home of the NRL.
Weird. I don't remember changing that.
Oh.
I think I know where that is. I don't remember changing it.
Whoa, whoa.
Is Tony racing?
Nah, he's doing the extraction.
Oh, yeah, extraction.
Is he actually racing it?
I mean, it's live.
Yes, I'm on my TV1 cam trying to
Oh.
drive my car.
I thought you said it was going to be at like 10 o'clock tonight.
No, we're doing Indy at 9, so we said we're doing it before instead of doing it at like 11 o'clock Eastern. Which was a good move.
Alright, Zach, you ready for the next video?
Nah, I'm good.
Good one, too. There was at least one colossal flip in this level, bro. On the level of that fucking Subaru, Jesus.
Yes, those are the kind of clips I want to see. Yeah, it's a good thing we decided not to do the 7 o'clock Indy because I was still sitting in the Taco Bell drive-thru at 6:30 because they were wrapped around the building, and I'm like, I ordered online and already paid, so I'm gonna wait it out.
Were they untrapped around the building? Not even still a menu item?
Yeah, they're not going to get rid of the Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Yeah, the Crunch Wrap is like a staple of Taco Bell, but then again, we thought the Mexican pizza was as well.
If McDonald's got rid of the Big Mac, I would be perfectly fine with that.
Someone else, fuck McDonald's, burn the whole franchise to the ground. Fuck them, fuck their mascot, fuck everything about them.
You see, apparently people want us to strike from eating or working at McDonald's until they pay their employees $25 an hour.
Okay, I don't make $25 an hour. Why would I do that?
They kind of deserve it. They're treated really, really weirdly.
I mean, they should make like 12.
They're very miserable. Have you gone
Maybe-
to a McDonald's?
Maybe like a store manager could make more than that, but like
So, the thing is, you start paying them 20-something an hour. What every McDonald's franchise is going to do is have one person checking and a cook. Everyone else will lose their job. Then they'll just have you use kiosks.
Here's the way I look at it. If the NFL gives that much money to the players, an industry that makes way more, has way more employees too, but you should be earning the amount that your company makes in a percentage. You know what I mean?
Tim, I'd like to point out that this reminds me of was it Six Stadium that they were building the grandstands as opening day was taking place? I think we're heading for a situation like that.
They weren't even close.
Hey, we got to the road bleachers. Come on in.
I'm gonna be perfectly happy if they cancel that race. Oh, also you heard the other big news today, right? Antonio Giovinazzi's lost his ride.
Oh yeah, he got replaced by Jackie Chan.
Chow. My Mandarin is atrocious, so I don't know exactly how his name is said.
I believe it's Something Wong.
That is incorrect.
Jamar Chase time.
Probably it's a Tuesday. What's Jamar Chase doing?
He's going back into my lineup because he's no longer on a bye.
Good move, good move.
And, oh man. Dude, I don't have very good choices this week. Matt Ryan versus the Patriots, Russell Wilson against the Cardinals, or Kirk Cousins against the Packers.
You have 3 quarterbacks? Oh,
yeah.
What league is this?
This is my other league, the non-PPR league. I could pick up Tua.
No, I would
against the Jets.
I'd send Russ Wilson out there.
Yeah.
Let Russ go.
He's gonna get right at some point. Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones, Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones. You start Mac Jones.
On the NASCAR subreddit asking what team should I follow. My favorite team just killed itself. His favorite team was Starcom.
That's one of those things. Like, I wonder how some of those teams have fans.
That's my favorite.
I feel like asking him if he like what football team do you root for?
UMass Amherst.
Sorry, Michael Pittman Jr. Dang, Michael Pittman Jr. is number 9 wide receiver.
Number 9 large.
Number
Speaking of large, check
with
this
the extra
out.
dip.
Apparently there's a bug in GTA 3. If you wiggle your car, it keeps getting bigger.
Apparently that was always a bug and they didn't fix it.
So it's a feature. Rid of the original.
It is a feature.
Nice Easter egg.
Yeah, Rockstar should be ashamed of themselves. Oh my god, this is getting absurdly big too.
It's absurdly bigger.
Oh my god, what's happened to the wheels?
The video says infinitely, but it cuts off after 30 seconds. So if I buy this game and do this shit for like an hour, would I just like take the whole map over?
Commented that I see first. This is like that Putin video where every time he turns left, he gets lighter. Oh, you heard that Fenway has bought the, Penguins I think they just bought?
Oh, apparently it keeps going and going until the car just kind of,
Explodes?
falls through the map and fails.
And then it goes back to normal. Huh.
Car's like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Like, this isn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, so January, I don't know about that. I don't know about hanging on that long to wait for an if.
No,
I mean, if I haven't figured anything out by then, I guess it's kind of nice to know I have a minimal insurance policy, but yeah, I don't know, fuck you. Mad, but I'm not mad, because it's not a no, so it's not like it's a bad thing. But it's just, it's like a medium. It's like, it's not good, but it's not bad. Fantasy games we have left? 4? 3. Yeah, 4. 4. We have 4. That's it. 4.
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right.
This is week 11, sir. We're like steamrolling through the season.
Wait, that's not... No, we have more than 4.
I mean, are you counting the playoffs?
Oh yeah. Yes, I was.
Yeah, I mean, you could have like probably 6 or 7 if you include the playoffs, but you have a minimum of 4.
I was going by the regular season. Right.
What's a better fantasy matchup? The Washington defense against Carolina. The Chiefs defense against Dallas. Never mind, that's I'm not going to consider that. Or the Chargers and Steelers. You don't think Dallas is going to torch the Chiefs for like 40 points? I mean, considering who they played, Raiders are okay. Jordan Love and the Packers. Yeah, it does seem darker this time of year. Like it gets darker and darker. And I think that's just a product of the mixing pot of races we have in the United States and the death of the white man.
Jesus Christ, what?
White man, white man.
What?
No, it wasn't number 1. But it was top 5, I think. Yeah.
White man.
His was white.
No, yours was like Bohemian Rhapsody or some mainstream bullshit. White van. Yeah, because he only listens to like 4 songs and some bullshit I've only listened to.
It's probably good stuff.
I like the deep cuts, the deeper the better. I like my songs like Brisket and Cut. Oh, hey, it's Kevin. I'm just crashing on this shit. Am I gonna beat the very crazy Canucks this week? Possibly. I think Kyler Murray to be out again, though. Dude, if I win and JB loses again, I'm right in the thick of the playoff hunt. I'm gonna make the playoffs at like 7-6. No, 7-7. It'll be revenge for the year I had like a record worthy of a 2 seed and ended up out because we have 4 divisions and it's bullshit. Rigged against me. Stop the steal. Fuck this league.
Don't stop the league.
Run by a bunch of squirrels.
Dude, I hate this league too. Because I'm going to be like 7-7 with you in the He's up.
Yeah, dude, what happened? What the hell happened to you, man?
Derrick Henry died.
Rip.
I still had all the players that were scoring crap loads of points before, but they're gone anymore.
The big thing that, I mean, obviously the only thing that kept you from winning our game was Matt Ryan. The rest of your team did okay.
Yeah. Well, they could have done better, but Matt Ryan, obviously.
Oh, fucking, of course you have A.J. Dillon. You're not even going to play him.
Yeah, but
Drop
you
him, so I get
need
him.
a good third running back. Not that he's getting enough touches to be that, but he's getting a lot of touchdowns.
I don't really care about another running back as long as Chubb's going to play. Chubb and Zeke are just fine. And in my league, Chubb and, Jesus Christ, I hope Saquon plays this week. We'll be just fine.
I don't trust him.
If he's playing, I'm starting him. Him or T. Higgins or Adam Thielen, and it's like,
If Thielen can get going, I think he'll be up there, but Justin Jefferson has taken over that team.
Yeah, and the Bengals, though, they got such a tough passing attack, but Burrow spreads the ball around a lot. I mean, obviously he throws to Jamar Chase a lot, but other than him, it's really open season.
I'm sure Tyler Boyd will be gone by the end of the year, so he can play more.
Yeah, if Barkley has no injury designation and ends up fully at practice, which I think he will, because today he says he took part in positional and all individual drills, so he'll probably be full practice by the end of the week. I gotta start him. I know it's Tampa Bay, they have a tough run defense, but Saquon's a big threat in the passing game, and the Giants are going to be down the whole game, so they'll be throwing a lot.
Really, a good running defense doesn't mean that much. It's secondary. That's everything. If you can stop the pass.
We're heading into a replay.
Stop the pass!
We're heading into a replay of last year in my league. Everybody's just sandwiched together for the last 2 wildcard spots.
I won, right? I forgot.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't looked at the standings. What's going on that?
Yeah, you beat Miller by like 7-6. Close one. Big matchups this week. Me and JB will be a big one. You and the Cavs are a big one.
What's your record?
6-4. I'm like the 4th or 5th seed.
I remember you starting the season really slow.
Yeah. What did I start? Yeah, I started 1-3, and since then I'm 5-1.
Who's leading the division? It's still Lobster and other thing.
Yeah, the Qs are leading the East and have the 1 seed. The Lobster are leading the West, and they're tied with you for the 2nd seed. This season I'm doing seeds differently. Last year it was just the top, one division and the other division are the 1 and 2 seeds, but this season I think I'm just gonna, I know. The divisions will be the East and West winner are guaranteed a spot, then it's 4 wild cards. But as far as seeding goes, first round buys, that just goes by record. So if Dog wins the division at like 7-7, gets in, but he might be 6th seed if it were to work out that way.
With 2 divisions, you're not going to have that. It may affect the seeding, but that's it. Like you're not going to have a division winner that wouldn't make the playoffs.
I mean, last season was kind of but they don't. There we go. Yeah, last season Mike won. Mike and Dog tied for the division win in the West at 7-6. So don't count it out.
That's That's gonna be weird, though.
It happened last year. Where's my standings post on the Facebook page? Did I not do one last week? But I know I did. Yeah, okay, I did. Alright, so the Kew Gardens are 8-2. They have the first round bye. Tiebreaker between you and Dog. It'll be Dog. He will own the tiebreaker against you, and it will not change because he beat you head to head.
Why'd you do that,
Bitch. Oh.
Freaking lobster, man.
Black Lobster. Alright. For the 3 seed. 4 seed belongs to the Kaz. Say me. I own the 5th seed because I do.
How many teams make the playoffs?
All of them.
Wow.
We're all gonna die one day.
No, I already have that realization. Thanksgiving's next fucking week.
Yeah, it's next Thursday, dude.
Fuck. That means, like, next week of work, I'm gonna have 2 really good days and 2 absolute hell on earth days. Tony, are we at the making wild predictions part of this race?
Zach Michael's gonna win because he can make it.
No, my wild prediction is our champion's either going to be JD or Ryan.
Right now, Ken's in 7th, so he's the points leader by several points.
Yeah, I see that. I think one of the two of them is going to win. I don't think Ken hasn't shown a car that can win all day. They've shown a car that can win. Ken hasn't led a lap either, so he's lost 5 points to those guys, hasn't he?
That's true, but he's ahead of Ryan by 34 coming in, and he's only 1 spot behind, and 5 bonus points behind, so he's like...
Correct. The two of them are going to win it. They've just been up front the whole time. Once screwy happens, I think they got it.
Maybe. If JB can catch Rick and pass him while Ryan stays like 5th or 6th, he'll win. And a lot of it depends on what Scott does, if he can get back up here.
Yeah, well, yes. And then again, what was it? Last season, it looked like it was all done and dusted until that yellow, didn't it?
No, you were on a weird pit strategy, if I remember right. So we didn't really know. But the first year, it looked like that, because you were like 15th the whole race.
I was doing this the whole race, then the last stint, I just drove away and won it.
You've got 4 other cars to beat, though. That's
I need to win this race and have something happen to them where they're all, like, what, 12th on back and have any real chance. And I need them to get 12th on back in the correct order.
Problem is, you definitely can't make it with gas, because you're always one of the first to come in.
Well, yeah, but I'm only coming in like a lap before the other contenders. On that last run, I can probably run one more lap in the race.
Maybe. Right now, Zach and Ben were the last to come in last time, and they were on the race.
Is Zach? like now in the top 20. It seems like 30th at one point, wasn't it?
He's 19. He's doing good. He just had a bad first run and a bad first pit stop. Ever since he ate Taco Bell this morning, 3 minutes ago, he's been.
It was more than 2 years, Johnny. So I got an email like just before 5 from the apartment that I got approved for. They're like, "Oh shit, we forgot to have you fill out this additional form for the wait list." They send it to me. Sounds like, I mean, I'll fill this out, but you send it to me as a non-fillable PDF. Do you have a fillable copy, or you want me to throw it into Photoshop and type into it that way? It's like I don't really know what you're looking for. I won't be surprised if I say, "Well, do you have any ability to print it and scan it?" And I'm like, actually, at work, yes. I can do that at work. So, if I don't hear back from them by the end of the night, I'm just going to decide that that's what they need me to do. Yeah, Tony, I think my prediction is going to be anybody that hits after lap 200, 100% will make it.
I think there'll be very few that do. But that's a good prediction.
I mean, if they all start pitting on the next 10 laps, then they're going to pit again sometime after lap 200 to make it, right? And honestly, with where if you decide to, like, the AI don't do this. But if it was humans, my thought might be, if it looks like we're going to go green to the end, maybe I go ahead and say, okay, I know I'm not going to make it, and hit now, and then hit with about 30 to go, get tires both times. I think that would offset.
That's a smart idea, but a caution can come out, so it's hard to do that.
There's that. Also, stupid shit like hitting it when you have a surefire win for no goddamn reason.
Zach is crawling into the top 10. There's a caution. He looks like the fastest car on the track right now.
I think Tony was mad I wasn't here when it started, and once I showed up he felt bad, so he turned up my ratings.
That's exactly what I did, sir.
Collusion! Collision.
Collision of the brethren.
I'll give you cohesion.
Adhesion. Wow. Roush Fenway Racing is now RFK Racing.
Yes, and they unveiled a paint scheme that I do not like.
Named after Robert F. Kennedy.
That was my immediate thought.
I mean, I think the paint scheme's just a show car.
I sort of certainly hope they don't try to do a black car with black numbers. Tony, how sure are you that they can't get beyond lap 200? Because I think Zach can make it on one stop. I think you were right about that. That might win in this race.
Well, Zach can do it. Ben can do it. Other than that, I don't know. 'Cause I think they pitted on lap 134, which is just after.
Did I pass 2 cars this lap?
Yeah, you're flying. You're way by the way. You can get a caution, which you might not need.
I don't think he wants a caution. I think he wants us to run green. If it runs green, I think he wins the race.
Yeah, you're about to get 8th and 7th here.
Happy birthday, Terry Labonte.
So he gets blocked in by the 69.
I'm going to guess he is 64.
35. Well, I guess we'll never find out how old he is.
Lap 194. Nobody has came in yet.
Nobody's come in yet.
Oh boy.
There they go. None of these guys can make it.
JB's in, Ken's in.
Did I stay out?
Yep.
Interesting. See, this is the pit lane angle we needed all night, Tony.
I didn't know it existed.
Here comes Rick, here comes Tony.
And others. Ryan and Craig.
Yeah, I think that's Ryan, because Craig is already in. I'm going around another time.
Tony, can you do the points real quick? Can you do them live, like every lap?
not this lap.
Scarberry in. Now I can't see who's coming in. This is the one time it makes sense, in my mind, to run long on this.
This is the time I wish we did the 1 point system, because then it'd be like stupid easy to calculate the points in like 2 seconds. What's the points gap? What position are we on the track? Another lap. Click it done.
Camera changed.
Alright, I've got the none camera, so it's still.
I'm staying out another lap. Jesus. I think I'm trying to make it on one stop here. These guys are going to make it, but they shouldn't be able to.
I don't know.
Dan's in, Scott's in. Zach's the leader. Here comes
And I'm
Zach
pitting.
really early. And we're all coming with him, so we're on the same strategy with Zach now. That seems like a poor strategy call from him. He needed to go like 3 more laps, and then he would have been golden. Sure, you might give up, 6 to 10 seconds doing that, but I think you would have gotten it back easily.
Maybe the light came on.
Full light.
Ben and Tennis are the 2 still out there.
I was gonna say, Ben hasn't pitted, has he?
Could you imagine if Ben wins this race?
And gets fired.
Hey, you're rehired.
Ben's still going. He can make it. Because when he pits, it'll be 67 to go. They can do 67, I think. Kevin's in. The beginning of the race, some guys did 65, 66. Easily. You can do 67. Ben's got nearly a lap on the field as he comes in.
You're out right with Scott, and Foley caught up to Rick.
Yeah, it hasn't cycled all the way yet, so get another lap and we'll see.
That's interesting. Ken might win this championship with 0 wins.
Yeah, I still think it's going to be Ryan or JB.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, there's a car that can definitely make it.
Scott.
Christ.
I laugh now watching
Wasn't he already a lap down before he did it?
it. You never know. No, parent. No, yeah. You're right.
Let's see, Foley caught Rick. Where did Zach cycle through?
Zach is 11.
Yeah, unless something weird happens, I don't see myself in Scott.
Scott's got the points advantage coming in, so he can gain. I
Yeah,
think
but he's 13 behind 10. He needs to make a lot of ground here in this last step.
if there's a caution, anything could happen.
Oh, the caution comes out of Zach. Didn't we end up 20 seconds behind before? No, something screwy happened. Like, Zach was in the top 10 making ground, and now he's 20 seconds back.
Well, Rick and Foley and those guys got a couple laps earlier. Around 3-second difference.
I think this happened in a previous race at this track. We were like, oh, they can't make it, and then they did. So, I'm sure they'll make it, but it feels like they shouldn't.
Right now, Ken is your points leader.
Oh, now he does the points.
50 back, maybe 45 back. Ryan is Ken's the leader. He has to lose at least a couple more spots.
Or have it
Which if that pack behind him catches him, then he's like 4 or 5 seconds back, so I don't know.
I mean, there's a bunch of cars in that window there. I think that's the group I'm trying to catch now, isn't it? That group that's about 8 seconds off?
I'm trying to find where you are.
Right behind Tony Long.
Oh, you're 18th. Wow.
Yeah, like, I lost a ton of time on that pit stop. I lost more time than Zach did, and I don't really get it, but okay. It's gonna be really interesting if this runs green to the end, but I think I said that a year ago, and then about the time, like 20 laps after I said that, that's when we got, what, a fin debris project?
It'll be interesting if it stays green or has a caution. So, favor for both.
The 87's still way off sync. He's probably about to hit the final time here in 20 laps. Yeah, the other issue I've got going for me, I have no chance of winning if Scott stays on my bumper like that.
No, you're...
I need Scott to be back there, I need to go to the front, then I need Ryan and JP to collect each other and take out Ken. I think that's what I need.
That sounds about right.
Or for a late race yellow to just drop them all back to the mid-20s while I'm in the top 5. That would probably do it.
One car who has had a bad day.
Because he had a bad day.
Alex?
Yes.
He's run backwards from the start of the race. I don't think he ever was higher than where he qualified.
He cracked the top 30 a couple times. He's just hanging on to dear life as we have a battle for the lead. I want to say one thing. Rick Jackson has been the most dominant driver by far these last 4 races.
It's a shame he didn't run like this in the regular season.
I know. It's a shame because he's definitely not going to make it. If he makes it, everyone else.
Yeah, I remember we've had this before. We're like, oh, none of these guys can make it, and then they all make it. So
We'll see. I think it'll be fuel mileage craziness.
I mean, when I ran the numbers at the first pit stop, that averaged out to 4.1 pit stops. It's like 2 laps short of getting down to 4. So
If Ben's the only one that can make it, he's almost a lap down. So I'm wondering how quick top off.
yeah, if you top off and take rights, you'll beat Ben. If you just top off, he's going to beat you. Is my theory right now. Because I think you're going to need the tire advantage if you're going to do one more pit stop to actually beat him.
Not if you top off with 4 to go.
He's going to end up ahead of you. You lose basically a lap minute. He's going to be ahead of you at speed. After you're going to have to pass him back, and you're not going to have tires.
I'm not so sure.
Play back in a minute.
Where he is right now, he'll be ahead of you if you pit in the lead lap.
I think you're right, but I don't know.
Especially if you're not in this top 5. Anybody else at the top 5, he will be. The top 5 will be close. Anybody beyond that, he absolutely beats. Like that pack at 18 seconds, he'll beat all of them. You know, when did Scott pit?
Right now.
Did he pit before? Did he pit before me?
No, I think he pitted either during you or right after you. He was one of the
Okay.
first ones.
Scott might by staying out of the that would be really cool, but kind of silly.
That huge pack is catching real quick.
Yeah, that's what Ryan and JB need, because they're just not getting anywhere here at the front of the field anymore. And Zach's towing that pack up there. Honestly, if I'm going to put odds on who I think has the best chance of winning, I think it's going to be, if fuel mileage comes in, I think Zach has the best chance to win. Because he's got track position, he's got speed, and I don't think he needs to save much. Maybe a lap, at most. I will say, though, all these groups are slowly gaining on the leader, aren't they? I don't think they're gaining quickly enough to ever get there.
No, maybe JB and Dave can. I think it's a 3-man, maybe 5-man race for the win, if it's conventional finish.
Yeah, I think Ryan might be too far back to actually do anything unless the score comes live. He's stuck racing lap times.
Yeah, he's going to need another spot. Right now, he has to rely on Ken to lose spots. It seems to be 8 and 138 right now. 39 needs to gain a couple, at least from Ryan.
Well, so I think Ryan's basically got what he's got right now. Ken can lose spots and JB can pick up a couple. And if the lead 2 run out of gas and JB makes it, he could win the championship that way.
There's a lot of ways to win the championship here.
There are some ways to win a championship, a lot of ways to lose it here.
Ken just lost his spot.
Might lose a second to Bill this next lap if we're not careful. And I think Zach's going to be with him here in about 3 laps.
He's about to get the tow, if he doesn't already have it. Ken making moves here.
The only reason Ken's hanging on here is because the 69's a piece of shit slow car.
Well, he has R2W engines, so that might play politics.
Yeah, the 69 car is not helping him, though. It's keeping him pinned down and letting the pack catch him.
That's true.
Yeah, and Tony, you're not catching the leaders. You're staying about even, but you're not really catching right.
All it takes is 1 lap.
So, Ken's losing time to the leader, and I think Zach's gaining.
Yeah, they've been 3 wide the last couple laps. It's not even about where they are to the leader, but you're using that as a reference.
Yeah, it's just a good reference to show that Zach's coming. Oh boy. If Randy can get me outside of the 69, that'll help him.
Look at Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton's been hanging in this group. I think Zach's caught this little trio of lead lap cars now.
You need to get the tow in that pack so Scott can catch up to these guys.
Well, yeah, that doesn't help me at all. I was trying to catch the pack, but I was stuck behind 2 lap cars.
You just need to save fuel, which is not looking good where you're at.
I don't think I need to save a lot of fuel, though. I'm maybe a lap short. At most. Like, it's pretty close.
I'm surprised you saved as much as you did the last run. Your first cars to pit both times.
Yeah, but I think those were both for the undercut. And we now realize here at the end of the race you need to go long because you need to make it. Tony, I think you're getting caught by the
I might need them.
That's starting to slice his way into the top 10. I feel like he can't make up 18 seconds, but I feel like that's happened here before, so...
There's no way.
How insanely far back was I 2 years ago?
You were far back, but you used pit stops to catch back.
Yeah, it'll be curious to see what happens here. When we get down to like within 15 to go, I think we're going to start seeing weird pit stops. It does help Ken that the 69 is fucking this entire pack behind him. That might keep some of them from sticking with him up here. Well, it looks like Bill and a couple are going to get by on the bottom here and stick with it.
Zach made some headway on the bottom.
I think Adam's going to get around the 69 here. Dalton might get him too. That car may have just gone off a cliff.
Gotta love when you go to a doctor on time, it still takes 3 hours for them to do what they need to do.
Sounds about right.
What did they do?
Picked over my ear, nose, and throat, made sure I didn't have the Rona. Which the instant test came back negative, so I guess I'll wait till tomorrow to see what the more in-depth test says.
Sir, according to this in-depth test, you have feline AIDS.
Boy, that'd be weird.
I'd ask for a second opinion.
On the AIDS?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes,
So,
I'm sorry to tell you, you have 8s.
We still 80 car and racing at 9?
That's the plan.
Yes.
I'm
Alright.
sorry to tell you, sir, but you clearly have ADHD.
Well,
Oh,
I've
God.
known that since I was like 4 years old.
Wood Brothers Racing tweeted a picture of like 100 Matt DiBenedetto diecasts, and he says, the tweet says, once Matt signed these, we'll be ready to send them out. And I'm tempted to comment, the diecast or Matt?
Leonard Wood's not going to appreciate that.
I don't even think Leonard Wood knows what a Twitter is.
See, back in the 60s, he raced North Wilkesboro.
Sounds like total
We raced at
retarded.
Greenville Pickens.
Go to Hobbies to get some dinner, because we're hungry.
You didn't even have a Waffle House.
Sorry, sir, we're at lemonade.
The waffles were done outside. They hadn't built the house yet.
You guys remember when Waffle House was just a waffle?
I don't remember. It was just a house.
They didn't have houses yet. Waffles came before the house. I'm gonna need this train of cars to get out of the way.
I think you're saving gas.
Doubt it.
I think he's one of the 3 cars in the field that 100% doesn't need to do that.
Well, he came in the same lap as
I have the Setoops downloaded.
Good for you. Make sure you put them in your Heavy Impala folder.
Thank you. I forgot where to put it.
You know, for some reason, I frequently mistake that 99 for the 46.
well. Out of the 2 cars you're mistaking, 99 is 38, 46 is 41st. But he did make that pass on Ryan earlier.
I was gonna say, you mean to tell me I qualified?
Yeah, you did great.
Holy shit.
You know, sometimes I look at the 99 and 46 and get them confused, but at the end of the day, shit's still shit.
Hey, David Baldinger at Homestead Road would be great.
It's mostly those long straight-on shots as the cars are both Mustangs with similar nose colors.
Ken Pettit is on the bottom.
Ooh.
Back.
I think Miller's gonna get an Auto Shack car for next season.
Yes.
I have some ideas for a paint scheme for that.
That needs to happen.
We're gonna drop Subway.
They weren't fresh enough.
Yeah, considering the car they put us on was 20 years old.
That's a really
Subway,
good scheme.
eat flesh.
Give it to somebody else. Subway's moving to fucking... I don't know. Boston Red Sox racing.
Ken, he is about to drop to 12th.
I think he's losing the championship right here. He can't get these spots back in the next 30.
5 in front of our eyes.
Ryan came in 34 back. He has a bonus point, which is 5, so that's 20.
So, it's 5
Ow.
points a spot.
It's about 4 or 3 points a spot where they're at.
Well, 8 or 9 spots is all he needs.
less than that. Ryan's 6th. Ken's
No, I mean 8 or
7th.
I mean 8 or 9 behind Ryan.
Wow, does Major seriously not have an Indianapolis setup up yet? That's pretty scary.
They don't believe in Indianapolis. It's not real.
I guess they do a billion of them every season.
Serious question. This gaggle of cars I'm with, if we get around the 69, can we catch Ken and fuck him over?
He's already kind of fucked over in this game. If my math is correct, if he drops to 7 here, he will be about 8 points back from Ryan.
What I also love is we're not even watching up front. Foley's probably winning this race now. Nope, incorrect. Foley is losing this race. And Tony's about to be caught by, I think, just Dave. I think he left JP in the dust.
Ryan's your points leader.
Ryan would like Craig to... Oh, there it is. There was my time to put stuff to the 87. Ryan could really use Craig to get up there and pass Ken as well and then block the shit out of him. Fucking 69 car needs to get off the fucking track. That's
He's doing great. Better than Broadway.
I can't believe it's not Broadway.
Is that butter? No, it's Stonehenge. I can't believe it's not butter.
You know who needs a paint scheme refresh for next season?
And
Dalton, yes. Tony Long just pitted, so guys are short.
By a lot.
I hope he's taking tires here, otherwise he's just completely shot himself in the foot. He's retiring from the race!
What?
oh no!
He was so short he gave up.
He was
We're out of
7th.
fuel.
Well, that helps Ken.
You're right.
Bro, we ran out of tires and fuel. We can't continue on.
We're out of fuel. I know. No, we're out of fuel. What do you mean? No, we are out of fuel.
Their team was bought out by Lifesavers, and Lifesavers
Right now.
said, the only tires we have are Lifesavers.
And we're all out.
We'll get you some more next year.
They've burned through your yearly allotment.
So nice that Homestead is once again honoring me in my quest for a championship. But for some reason they think my name's Matt.
I find it weird that every year they honor Dalton with marks on the backstretch.
Well, at least they got his name close with Dale.
Dalton.
Ken just
My
gained
God.
2 spots.
Yeah, because 96 just parked it in front of me. Move, Nimrod!
And
is he
just
pitting?
lost 2 spots. He's pitting.
Oh,
Boy, spicy.
sizzle, 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 sizzle.
Okay, if this isn't a retirement, you better be taking fuel. Fuel and
Not
tires, right sides only. That's the strategy call here.
No,
Tires
rears
are
also.
Right pin too.
Oh shit.
Are we gonna get to see what Ken does? No.
I'm not gonna make it. Out the pit.
Nathan, I really do. He's taking tires. That's the right strategy. They're gonna.
And he's retired from the race.
Oh my God.
Everybody's pitting.
Why would you take 4?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be worth it. But everybody else does it.
I hope I stay out long enough to only take 2.
Ken, this is either the move that wins or loses the championship.
At least he didn't hit an entire roll of bear bond on the front end like Denny Hamlin that one time.
Let's see, is Tony taking 4?
Looks like
Yes, everybody's taking. Honestly, you're putting this far out, taking 4. The later it
Got
goes,
more takers on pit road.
Yeah, we need to go to that camera where we can see the whole pit road.
Do we know why Tony Long had retired?
He's a quitter.
It is a live race. You can scroll down and see it.
Tire. We were right.
They ran out of tires.
Wow.
You know, I guess you run so many races, they didn't budget their tire allotment back in Daytona.
So Ryan's in. That right now, if the race were to end right now, that would make, I don't know who would be the champion right now because nobody that is in the hunt is in the top 10.
The two
the way
guys we
these
were
cycle
talking
out.
about are pitted right now. Scott.
Scott, yeah.
Yeah, Scott's the man right now. JB pitted too.
It'd be cool if we could use the camera that focuses on pit road to see all this action. We have one.
I mean,
There's no one on pit road right now, though.
Pit road.
Now Tony prefers rear chase.
We need to know where they stand compared to each other before we focus more on that.
I think we're watching the championship 4 before we watch anybody else.
I think we need picture-in-picture.
I wish we could do this every week where we all got our own replay and we just had a gentleman's agreement to keep it synced up with each other. And we all have our onboards or we can control our own camera. Good lord, what is happening here? Move! Those shit boxes.
Well, the 87's a fast shit box. It's got big tires in all y'all.
Ryan's over a full straightaway ahead of Ken. Position-wise, nothing.
Here's the important thing. Where are they in relation to Ben?
We don't care about Ben. We don't care who wins the race.
Ben's the one guy that 100% could make it.
Ryan's already ahead of Ben.
Okay. Ben's a no factor. Probably not.
Actually,
Ben's
no.
going to be a mile ahead.
No, he's a lap ahead of Ryan and Ken.
Okay, so I was right.
Well, Ken's going to unlap himself here, down the backstretch.
Yeah, and I think the tires were necessary. You needed tires to go fit in there. I just don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the. You need to pass it, Ken.
Need to pass cars to win the race? Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, Ken might end up winning this race.
Scott's
Ryan's
right
ahead of him.
now. He'd definitely be the leader. If he can just stay out, he's got it.
It's going to be really great when he pits with 2 to go. I stay out and win the championship. Except I have this weird hunch that I'm going to get passed by these guys before I pit.
The way Ken's going, he might.
Jesus. Holy shit.
Yeah, he might also get involved in a horrendous crash trying to get
if these guys, if everybody pits, I think Ken is going to win the race just because he's flying past everybody.
But Ryan's ahead of him on the track with the same tires, isn't he?
Ryan will win, but Ken will win the championship.
Old strategy call, but if you're going to pit that early, you got time to use the new tires.
Yeah, that's why
everybody now is kind of in a box where they have to try and make it, because if they have to pit and take 4, they're fucked.
I think if you pit now, you maybe take 2. If you pit within
You're still fucked.
You pit within
And they have so much time. At this point, you just want to do fuel only.
Even then, I think Ken's got him wrapped up. 4 tires might have been wrapped up.
I think 8 tires would have been the right call.
I agree.
Problem though is that if there's a caution, it wraps.
Tony, did you pit while we weren't paying attention? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. But I'm not part of this.
I'm curious though about who, is there anybody ahead of Ryan who's pitted?
I am ahead of Ryan, so I might win. JB's ahead of Ryan too. I'm ahead of
JB could still win the championship if things shake out just right.
That's a good point.
Frankly, the only one that went in with a chance if I want to eliminate is frankly myself. I don't think I have a chance to stupid that was here.
JB came in 25 points behind Ryan. Well behind Ken though, so.
Yeah, but they're both getting they're both ahead of Ken, they just need cars to slot in between. JB's also trying to pass you really hard here, getting really blocked by these cars that are in for a group.
Get fucked, JB.
He's got nowhere to go.
No, that was you racing Ryan as a lap car and passing. That was pretty funny. Yeah, Tony's about to unlap himself and protect himself from a potential yellow. Because the yellow comes out, everybody hits.
Dalton's up to 5th.
Yeah, we're getting down to 10 to go. This is the nail-biting period. Can anybody actually make it? If somebody can make it, I think they win the race. But
Yeah, Ken's not going to make up that much time.
ignoring Ben, who clearly is completely out of this.
On the lead lap. No, Ken, lead lap. Is he?
No, I just unlapped myself. JB,
Okay.
Ryan. Ken's nowhere near any of you guys. It's
He's
interesting.
right behind me. Like, on the track. That's why I was asking, because if he was on the lead lap, he was going to, like, go screaming past all of us.
Yeah, he's still got a way to go. He might finish
Okay.
on the lead lap, but...
Frankly, I wonder what kind of lap time is Ryan burned his tires off yet?
Alright, now we're going to TV2.
Oh, here they come.
Cars in the pits, Rick's in. Dave's in. So Foley's now our leader. There goes Foley into the pits. Who's going to be the leader now?
Dalton, maybe. Wouldn't that
Foley's
be
going
something?
to be leading at the line. I think it is Dalton now.
Wow. It's a big race for the lead now if they all stay out. It's like
I
8
doubt
cars.
they're all going to stay out. So who was the last one to pit?
Right
Our
sides
group?
at least for Foley here. Is that
Scott.
Scott do it? Scott Drake, we don't care. He's
I
Doesn't
think
matter.
it's you and maybe somebody else.
Let's see, Foley didn't lose a whole lap, did it? Dalton's in.
Coming to 7 laps.
Come on, yellow. Yellow. Come on, yellow.
I don't think you want a yellow. At least not yet. Another couple of laps to yellow then really helps you. Yeah, they're still taking tires.
Wow.
Randy's in.
Wow, 4 for Dalton. No, we took. Well, we had to wait on fuel, I guess.
Zach Michael, your new leader.
Now until I pit in 4 seconds. 1, 2, 4.
There he is. Zach's pitting.
Good
Damn,
job.
I'm good.
Why? He was one of the last ones to come in.
Scott
Oh,
Jackson
67
is
laps.
still out.
Yes, Scott and myself are still going. Ben's up to 9th.
Why would I take tires?
I just don't think this. Well, you are 2 seconds a lap faster with 4. I don't know what rights do. It might make a difference.
Second? Why
Yes,
am I still sitting? Go, you jerks.
Here comes Adam Tharp.
Scott's still out.
Yeah, Jim's the leader now.
Let's stop and let Aaron get going, alright? Yep.
There's just so many laps left that I don't think anybody's going to make it then. Except Ben, who... Wait, Ben is ahead of them, but I think we're going to catch him, right? JB's 4 seconds behind him, and JB's going to catch him.
So who's the first car that pitted in the running order right now?
JB?
Oh, who pitted already?
Yeah, he already pitted.
Okay.
Scott's in, I'm
There
staying out.
it is.
I'm not
Oh, didn't Tony pit?
Yeah, Tony pitted.
Okay, so he's the first one in their board right now.
Oh, for some reason I'm seeing JB ahead of him. Yeah, so it is Scott.
I think Scott just lost the championship. He should have just tried to make it.
Hey, I won't ever do that.
Yeah, and even if I make it, I don't think I win the championship anyway.
He took fuel only. Whoa.
I would need a yellow right now to have a chance. And I'm in, so that's over. The Tex is now the leader, but Tony's going to pass him before he pits. I don't think the pits matter anymore. We can look at Tony.
Yeah, I think you're right. So if JB can catch me and win, he might be able to pull off something, but Ken isn't 6th. So I think Ken's got this.
Yeah, that's too far behind him.
Yeah, well, that depends on what his tires are. What kind of lap times is Cam running now?
They're not going to be bad enough to lose 4 seconds.
If he's 2 seconds a lap slower than the guys that
he's been out there for 20 laps.
Did Ben pit, or did he just get passed on the track?
He pitted.
Okay, weird.
I thought it was going to be the opposite. Everyone would stay out. But it looks like Ken's got this. Unless something weird happens.
Battle for the win is on now.
Yeah, honestly, that's going to be more interesting to watch.
Oh my god. You're right.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, Ben's just now pitting. Low cars everywhere in turn 1.
Yeah, this is all of us that pitted and took fuel only. Ryan's going to pass JB.
Hit the challenge, I don't think so.
Yeah, I've got the win. White flag.
Yeah, I think Tex just pitted. We still have cars pitting coming to the white.
It's going to be an R2W win championship.
I'm going to love when Tony does the points and discovers that Ken somehow lost.
Oh, sorry, we're gonna need you to hand that check back.
The trophy, the confetti, everything, we need that back.
Not even in the top 10 odds to win the championship.
We're gonna need you to squeegee the champagne back into the bottle.
Damn, he almost caught you guys for the lead.
Ken Pettit, 2021 Extravaganza champion.
Unofficially.
Yeah.
I think
In
it's
post-race tech and calculations.
Like, he could have a 20-point penalty and still be the champion here. One thing I want to do, I want to analyze his whole season and see exactly where he finished and actually put it on Race Points Manager. Because he's had a weird year.
I want to see everybody's average finish.
That's what I want to do. I've got a vacation in December, and I'll put it all on Race Points Manager.
Yeah, because that'll calculate the finishes for you.
Yeah.
And like on a spreadsheet that you get locked out of.
You should be able to access it. It's on the website.
No, I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're locked out again.
Alright.
There's some big fire in Nashville again.
Oh, God.
Congratulations to Ken Pettit. Good win, Tony Pizarro. JB 2nd, Ryan 3rd, Ken 4th, Rick 5th, Craig, Dave, Miller, Foley, Tex, John Tharp. Dalton 11th, Randy, Jimmy Stevens, Matt, Bill, Adam, Zach Michael, Tim, Scott Jackson, and Mark Murphy. 21st, Ben, then Zach Miller, Steven Spears, Dominique, Scarberry, Nesfeder, Stewart, Crapser, Jermaine, and Michael Henson.
Michael Zach.
31st, Dan, then Dakota Wilkins, Torres, Scrabix, Cummings, Fitzmagic, Drake, Butterworth, Baldinger, Deutsch. Then Kevin Corbett and DNF, Tony Long.
Why must you insist on saying my name wrong?
Because it sounds like Mr. Corbato.
That's still dumb.
Sounds fancier than the cashier at Auto Shack.
Oh, is it just me or is TeamSpeak fucking up for anyone else?